because the main thing is this: all publicity is good publicity. If you had an organization, whether it's a crime organization or you sold mustard, the best you can do is get some of the greatest celebrities in the world to try to copy your phrases, your dances, all that's going to be good for the brand.
Blessed, and I saw you Crip walking to Kendrick Lamar.
You know, a lot of people don't know
that you a Crip.
No.
So that's the point that I'm making, and that's just basic business advertisement at that point. You know, because people that may do it that may not align, like, you know, Freshly brought the point about people who may, you know, not be considered squares, whatever it is. I don't think Serena would qualify for any of the points that he really made, but even if you were to say she's a square and she's too far removed from it, just the notoriety you get off of that kind of a thing is still going to be helpful, because when people go to self-correct it and go, that doesn't represent what we do, that's still more publicity because the conversation's being had. So either way, whether it's on the first wave or the people that are reacting to her doing it, it's still going to bring more notoriety to it. And again, my main point was not that people are going to join the gang per se more, which I think that is the case, but it makes you more simple. Yeah, but it makes you more sympathetic to it. There was a time where in the Black community and my friends in Africa, they'll tell you that in certain places in Africa, it's still considered shameful to be involved in gang violence in some place in Africa. When they came to America, they realized that Black Americans celebrate that. Italian Americans celebrate the mafia to some extent. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is that that's not the case everywhere in the world. Some places that's a shameful thing. And so my point is saying that whenever we have celebrities on the big stage doing it in mass, and you know, and making it popular and more cool, what it does makes us go, you know what? I used to hate it. Now I'm ambivalent towards it. So now I went down a level. Those who are ambivalent may start to like it. Those who like it may join. But we're all taking a step in the wrong direction from wherever your starting point was. That's my contention.
Out of it at the same time, like Serena Crip walking, did I think it was a good thing? No, but let's take it out of context of the Black community. I remember when white people used to view Crip walking, they used to like, oh, it's just a dance, ha ha ha. Black community was just like, nah, bro, like that's really symbolizing like your part of this hood. So
let's go. Let's go. Hey. That's what I'm talking about. Stack it up.
So with her image and everything she has, I don't think she will lose anything. But do I feel like it was a terrible move? Yeah.
She won't lose anything.
Yes, she's not going to lose.
It's not going to hurt her.
Right.
And in terms of extortion, she's way too far removed. Like, that's not her market.
No. What I'm saying about the extortion part is not on Serena. I'm saying anybody using the Crip name. You got I agree with you on that. I'm saying that's more for rappers who kind of lean on street cred for credibility. For Serena, that's why I said it's a net negative, because how do the Crips as an organization benefit from her doing their signature dance? Right? Okay. Being who she is, how far removed from the culture she is. And I'm not saying she's not Black. That's not a commentary on her Blackness. I'm saying in terms of culture, right? The Crips can't extort her. She's untouchable for the Crip organization. She's not in the streets. She doesn't need street cred to be popular. Like, what she does is completely detached from that. So she's doing it in kind of in a way, almost playing with it, if you will. It's like, listen, I could just do this. It is like, I think Serena thinks of Crip walking like most white people do. Oh, it's just a dance. Like I said,
let's move it around. Hold on, let's move it around. Let's get Vulcan. I want a bodega to speak to it too. Go ahead, Vulcan.
Well, I disagree with 2 points. One, she doesn't look like most white folks looks at it. She's from Compton. She knows exactly what it represents. She knows.
You would think she would have taken time to do it right.
Well,
if that was the case,
I don't think those two are related. To be honest with you, I don't think those two are related.
She's a professional athlete. You don't think she can learn how to do the Crip walk right?
I don't think that matters whether she learns how to do it right or not.
She's doing a Kids Bop version of the Crip walk. It's crazy.
Why do you think it matters if she does it right?
I don't see any correlation there.
I'm about to say, if y'all look at Crip walking, it's universal. Like there's nobody's doing the same thing over and over. I can show y'all 10 Crip videos. They all Crip walk different. Everybody's,
which is to my
it's the
point.
Crip walk, and you have
Right, but it's based on set. The difference is, right? It's based on the different sets.
Hold on, Juice. Hold on, Fresh. Vulcan, go ahead, finish why you disagree. Your 2 points where you disagree, and let's move it around.
Oh yeah, my fault.
I was saying the 2 points that Freshly made that I disagree with. One, I mean, I don't even if I remember them now, but one of them being, well, I don't remember what he said now at this point, so I can't say.
Okay. Terrible.
All right. Yeah.
Terrible.
Bodega, you got any thoughts? You muted, Bodega, you muted.
No, I don't have anything. I kind of lost my train of thought too, but that's my bad.
All right, Juice, you could finish your point.
But like I said, when I was saying, like, there's no correct way to do anything. Now, you said, how do Crips benefit from this? You got to look at also what else Crips has already established within themselves. One of the biggest Crips we know right now, Snoop Dogg, he has a whole brand behind being a Crip. You got Nipsey Hussle, whole brand about being a Rolling 60. And then you got to also look at it. They got a drink called Crip Cola. So there's things that's attached to Crips, like whether you look at it like what are they gaining for it, you have a chance to get your name out there more when celebrities do it. Do y'all forget when Lil Bow Wow was Crip walking when he was a kid?
Yeah.
He was just a kid, and they let him get a free pass. But guess what? When Snoop Dogg took him under his wing and they gave him that pass, it would also give him some type of power and notoriety. Like, listen, we got the little homie from over there. Well, he was from Ohio. I forgot he was from Ohio. We got a little homie out
Ohio.
there.
But
So,
I guess the question for you, Juice, is: do you think that Serena was she promoting marketing?
Was she promoting marketing? Nah, I literally think she was just there dancing, bro. I literally just think she was there. I don't think she was promoting that. It's more so like she's there. She's in a heated moment. This music is there. Listen, some people don't know how to dance, but they know how to do a couple things, and that's what they're gonna do just to represent themselves and having fun. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, see, Vulcan, before you got on, Vulcan said, no, that was definitely marketing, a good marketing strategy to promote the Crips, especially for somebody that's not a Crip. That was a plus. That was a win for the Crips,
Consider a neighborhood she stayed in? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because the main thing is this: all publicity is good publicity. If you had an organization, whether it's a crime organization or you sold mustard, the best you can do is get some of the greatest celebrities in the world to try to copy your phrases, your dances, all that's going to be good for the brand. So that's the point that I'm making, and that's just basic business advertisement at that point. Because people that may do it that may not align, like Freshly brought the point about people who may not be considered squares, whatever it is. I don't think Serena would qualify for any of the points that he really made, but even if you were to say she's a square and she's too far removed from it, just the notoriety you get off of that kind of a thing is still going to be helpful, because when people go to self-correct it and go, that doesn't represent what we do, that's still more publicity because the conversation's being had. So either way, whether it's on the first wave or the people that are reacting to her doing it, it's still going to bring more notoriety to it. And again, my main point was not that people are going to join the gang per se more, which I think that is the case, but it makes you more simple. Yeah, but it makes you more sympathetic to it. There was a time where in the Black community and my friends in Africa, they'll tell you that in certain places in Africa, it's still considered shameful to be involved in gang violence in some place in Africa. When they came to America, they realized that Black Americans celebrate that. Italian Americans celebrate the mafia to some extent. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is that that's not the case everywhere in the world. Some places, that's a shameful thing. And so my point is saying that whenever we have celebrities on the big stage doing it en masse, and making it popular and more cool, what it does makes us go, you know what? I used to hate it. Now I'm ambivalent towards it. So now I went down a level. Those who are ambivalent may start to like it. Those who like it may join. But we're all taking a step in the wrong direction from wherever your starting point was. That's my contention.
All right, so let's go around the room. Just keep it concise, maybe like 30 seconds. Agree or disagree with what Vulcan just said. And anybody on the panel disagree, keep it within 30 seconds. Disagree or agree with Vulcan?
Yeah, I disagree. Of course. Again, I don't think that every. I don't think that.
I disagree.
I don't think that any. Again, when you're looking at who your target audience is in terms of the Crip organization, I don't think that Serena aligns with those values. I think it's almost like fashion.
Yeah.
Like when I start wearing something.
I want to address what he's saying because again, I don't disagree with he's saying on that part, but I think he's looking at it from too small a scope. They have as an organization, they have a message and a purpose for everybody. You have folks that you want to join. You have folks that you just want to leave you alone and not look at it as such a bad thing. So what Fresh is saying, that's not the target audience. That's not the target. Those are the target audience to join the gang, but they may want that audience to get off their back a little bit. Like, hey, look,
the people that the Crips want to get off their back a little bit is the police. The police are not changing their views on the Crip organization because Serena Crip walked on the Super Bowl.
Do you think they want the broader society to look upon it favorably or to look at it shamefully? Somebody in Idaho somewhere that's not even close to any type of. Do you want that? They want that person to look at it favorably, neutrally, or badly?
I think favorably is what the goal would be.
And that's my point. I'm saying that you're not addressing that person. That's my issue with your.
No, I again, I understand what you're saying, but that person is. You said they're not even attached to it. So where would they encounter a Crip if that's the case, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's Crips in Idaho, but where would they encounter a Crip that their viewpoint on it would make a difference to the organization?
They're spreading and they're building converts. I've seen Crips and Bloods pop up in places that you wouldn't expect to see them before.
No, for sure. But my point is, if that's the case, so essentially what you're saying is this might help recruitment in some place like. You said Idaho. I'm just going to utilize that because it's seen in a positive light.
Recruitment, sympathy, or at least dial down the shame of it or the offense.
I've already agreed with your sympathizer thing, just like you've agreed with my original point was the recruitment. So we've already agreed with each other's point.
I was told originally I was reaching.
By who?
By black people.
Nah, who actually hasn't really gotten into this fray a little bit. He just called it a reach or asked if it was a reach, and backed out. He asked if it was a reach and backed out. Enos, what's your well, you know what? Let me let you do your job.
You stirred the pot, though. Tell you that. Hey, well, I will say this. I guess I would have to agree with Vulcan, because the Super Bowl does have a broader audience than just her core audience. But just her, like, I guess, because if she did it like on her channel or wherever, like people watch her, I don't think the people that watch her would care or join or even be sympathizers. I don't think they just like she was dancing one day in her house or whatever. So yeah.
To add on the reason I said the reach, because in the past anybody that's familiar, those to tune in to the show on the regular, that is a common thing people will ask Vulcan, is he reaching? Now, I like that Vulcan said once you start sympathizing, the recruitment can happen after that because now they're more open to it. So
yeah. Sorry, real quickly. Little Johnny comes in the house and he's Crip walking. You saw Serena do it, and you don't have no connection to it. Instead of telling Johnny, "Hey, Johnny, don't do that. We don't support that." Be like, "It's just a dance," and you move on. Now, so Johnny goes to the school doing it. Now, Johnny doesn't join the game, but another kid does because he goes, "Oh, Johnny's doing what I'm doing." All it takes is for us to not to find it as offensive. That gives the groundwork for it to grow.
Yeah, but there's also a complete opposite.
I want to say this too. If you studied a lot of terrorist groups in the past, there's no need to mention some of them. That once the community sympathized with the terrorist group, they was able to gain more members.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, but again, to Vulcan's point, using his example, there's also the opposite of the person who's going to see Johnny do it, and because Johnny is doing it, it's not authentic. They're going to be put off by it.
Hmm?
Like, hey, if Johnny can get away with doing that, then it's not what I thought it was. It's not an organization I want to be a part of.
If
he's just doing it out.
But Fresh, you're just speaking to another sector. Yeah, it's going to be some people that probably don't want to do it after viewing.
Yeah. So what I said was there is the exact opposite of what he said. Is that not an accurate?
Well, nobody's leaving because she did it. Can we all agree?
No, I didn't say leaving. I'm saying potential.
I don't know.
You didn't say that. I know you didn't say that. I'm just saying nobody's leaving because she did that, right? Can we all agree?
I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be less than 1% that's gonna actually leave because she did it.
Come on, Bodega man. People are not going. People that's Crips are not leaving because Serena Williams Crip.
Even potentials are looking at it.
You got to leave by according to the set, according to the rules. You leave by death, and a lot of times.
Jonathan,
go ahead, Juice.
Nah, man. One thing I was gonna say is like I ain't gonna lie. Bodega's actually right. Some people do get turned about and they do leave them organizations if they see certain like. It's the difference when you bang the organization, you actually banging the hood somebody's actually from. Because the first thing they're gonna be like is, yo, who put her on to this that they can do exactly what we do? You have people that get turned off by it. You have people that do get turned off by it. I watched it in real life when it came to, let's say, Lil Baby. Like I can Lil Baby, Tekashi 6ix9ine, but Tekashi 6ix9ine got jammed up. They were like, bro, he's a blood. But see, there's been a lot of situations with bloods that been getting pushed on certain things of that habit. Crips was like, listen, have you ever seen anybody false claiming Crips? No, because Crips are more violent. So when you have a lot of different people that were claiming bloods and then they get exposed, it turned people off to the bloods and people walked away from it as well. So yeah, there is the influence behind it. So one thing I want to put on the table real quick is, do y'all know Serena Williams also Crip walked at the USA Open before doing tennis?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So
she has a history of
really what's really the difference is she did it on a national TV where more whites are tuned into it than it is blacks on the Super Bowl. What's the biggest impact with that outside of the viewership?
Let's ask people. Let's ask everybody the question. Bodega, you want to answer? Ask the question. What's the?
Ask the question again, please.
Yeah, Juice.
What's the biggest difference outside of the viewership when she was already Crip walking as a tennis professional in the USA Open, where there's predominantly more white people viewing it at that state of time instead of the geography of everybody at the Super Bowl?
Who want to answer that?
Like, what? Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I definitely want to answer, but you know,
I think
is there really a difference?
I think so.
Is it just the title of the Super Bowl and the USA Open? What would be the difference?
People were pissed off.
I think Fresh, are you frozen or no? Oh no, maybe he's not. Okay, I saw him move. Okay, so I mean, I guess I'll go. I mean, I don't know about who do you want to go first? Or
yeah, whoever want to answer first. But let's bring in Cap of Facts. What's up, bro?
Cap of Facts.
Yeah. So go ahead, Vulcan. You can answer.
Take that robe off, man. Come on.
What's going on, black man?
Man,
it's a robe of royalty right here.
Hey, he look like you finna call us all my brother.
I thought that was Dr. Seuss over there, man.
You need to open up your third eye, my brothers.
You my brother.
You do like you about to say
the dedication of the black community through the
he looked like he started a sentence with back in my day. Back in my day.
Before you forget your point, go ahead, Vulcan. Before you forget your point.
So I would say the viewership to me is important, but he's saying outside of the viewership. I'll say one, and this goes to partly what my conversation with Fresh is that on the U.S. Open, she wasn't stamped by anybody else who's more closely associated with it. But on Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar stamped her doing that. So she has a little bit of more of a oomph in what she's doing and a little bit more of a push in the culture because Kendrick Lamar, who is associated with it, I don't know his association, he stamped that. He asked her to come and do that at that specific time while she's wearing blue everything, as a matter of fact, except for like her socks and her shirt.
Right. But one of the main things I'd say right now, just to object, is Kendrick can't stamp nobody. He doesn't have that type of power.
Yes, he can. He
had on bell bottoms.
No.
That's not gangster.
I'm gonna say you can do whatever you want.
Hold on.
I'm gonna answer.
He had on the
time,
same jeans that Donna wore on that '70s show.
I'm gonna answer that question. Because I know why Juice is saying that, and I agree why he's saying that, because he's not actually in, so he can't stamp anybody to anybody that's in. Most people are out. Kendrick can stamp her. People who are not affiliated, not involved with it, they don't know all those rules that Juice knows and Freshly know. If me as just a citizen, a young kid who's impressionable, sees Kendrick, who's repping Compton and has associated himself with his music with the gangs, all that kind of stuff, and he stamps, and I don't know the codes, I don't know all the stuff that goes in, I don't know the legislation and stuff that goes along with that. She can stamp him to me, and that's the most of the population. There's only a small percent that are actually in gangs, so that's my response.
Okay.
So do anybody disagree with Vulcan? Who disagree? Let's just start with the disagreement.
That's Kendrick Lamar stamps.
Well, they can play the video game right now, man. Come on, man.
You know it's past my bedtime, man. I'll be asleep by now.
Oh man,
they're on Twitch right now.
Man.
that man old.
Hey, we live on Twitch right now.
And no more 40-year-olds on the show, man. We got to start doing that,
man.
Whoa, I might look like Rakim.
Look is this. Yeah. I'll say this. If you pay attention to Kendrick, if you've been paying attention to the way he's been moving, everything is based around the West Coast. Everything. The dance styles that you've seen, even in the performance, was crumping. That's a West Coast thing. Hyphen, that's a West Coast thing. Sea walking, yes it is. That's a whole California thing.
What about bell bottoms?
Huh?
Put up bell bottoms
on. That's why you bullshit. His style
of the West Coast.
His fans, that is something for the West Coast. Why you bullshit?
Okay, there you go.
Hey, listen, why you bullshit? That is his whole thing was so West Coast. That's why I can say West Coast fuck everybody. If you paid attention to even the way he's wearing the Nike Cortez shoes, the shoes, the representation, he's doing nothing for everything to represent West
Coast. Aren't those gangster nights too? Don't they call those gangster nights?
Gangster nights, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call them. But I'm saying what he's doing is embracing the West Coast culture and bringing it all out. That's what I said. The only dances you seen was people hyphing, people was crumping, people was jigging. Of course, people was stepping in because they had a little unity and stuff. Like I said, old dude was on a basketball court. They're getting hyphy. They hyphy and they doing all that. It's just all about his culture.
Juice, are you? This is you disagreeing with Vulcan? You explain your disagreement?
Yeah, that's what I said. I disagree with it based on him stamping it. I'm saying if she did it on her own, he didn't have to stamp her to do it again when she's with him. That's my disagreement. You don't have to get it once you do it once. What I need your approval for?
I'm here to stay on my soapbox and proclaim that to the world.
On this show,